Hello friends, in today's video we're going to be servicing Mercedes CLK 200. This particular model is 2007 and is the convertible Merc. So the service parts what we're going to change today is oil filter, air filter, cabin filter and the spark plugs. The problem here we have is that the oil sump drain plug is seized, so there's no way we can take it off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pump the oil out from the dipstick, which is just here. So just gonna pull the dipstick out and we're gonna insert the tubing in. Right, so we're gonna be using this pump to pump the oil out. I don't normally do it this way. I always drain the oil from the drain plug. So just gonna insert the tubing in from the dipstick. So the tubing goes all the way in. There we go. And then this side of the pipe we're going to collect the oil into the empty container. Right, here we go friends, we have pumped all the dirty engine oil out of the engine. The quantity is exact 5 liters. Right, so the next we're gonna be changing the oil filter, and the oil filter location on this CLK 200 is just here at the back. So it's just behind the air filter box, just here. So for that we're gonna be using a 27mm socket, and also what we'll have to do is we'll have to take this remove this harness from this clip here and here, and then because it's coming in the way, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the harness towards us and insert the 27mm socket here. There we go. So we use a 27mm socket with a knuckle to get to it. There we go, that's the oil filter nicely been removed. So that's the oil filter. It looks really dirty. It looks to me that it hasn't been changed for a couple of years. Right, so just gonna take off the O-rings. There are 3 of them. 1, 2, and then the third one is just here. Okay, just gonna give it a good clean. There we go. So this is our new filter. So we're using Dry Plus make, like for like. So before we insert the new filter, we're gonna fit new O-rings. So just gonna prime it with my oily fingers. There we go. We're just gonna slide it over here. Okay. Right, so the next we're gonna slide in the o-ring here. There we go. Okay, and then the small o-ring goes here. There we go, that's all the o-rings fully home. I'm not sure what this is for. They just given us like some spare ones which are not even belong to this this model, so we're not going to use these two o-rings. Okay, so here comes the new filter. Just going to slide it in, push it down, just going to insert it back in. Just gonna torque up the casing. There we go. So the torque for the oil filter housing should be no more than 25 Newton meter. Okay, so that's that, nicely done. Just gonna fit this harness back into the clips. There we go. So that's the oil filter nicely been replaced on this CLK 200. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the air filter. So the location for the air filter is just here. So there are 6 screws to remove, and we're using the T25 bit to undo these screws. There we go. So all 6 screws nicely been taken off. So here is the air filter. Here comes the new air filter. We're using Dry Plus filter. The part number is DP1110100229. Okay. So the way filter goes in is like this. So I'm just gonna push it all the way in and then rest it in here like that. So that's the new air filter, nicely been placed onto the filter housing. Here comes the lid, nice and easy. That's the air filter nicely been replaced on this car. Oil filter part number is DP1110110084. So that is the Dry Plus part number for the oil filter. Right, so the next part we're going to change is the pollen filter on this CLK 200, and the location for the pollen filter is on the left hand side, just by the suspension strut, just here. So the way we're going to change it is that we're going to remove this wash that pipe from the clip. Okay, just going to move it on the side, and then you got 3 clips, clamps to undo. So you got the battery here, and the pollen filter is just above the battery. So you just turn the cover this way, and here is the pollen filter. So just gonna pull it out in this manner, nice and easy. Looks quite dirty. Here comes the new pollen filter. Just gonna read out the part number, which is E970LC-R. So that is the part number for this pollen filter. There we go. So the way we're gonna slide it in is just like that. So it goes in like this. There we go, nice and easy. And then you just turn it over, and that's how it's just gonna go in. There we go. Just gonna line up the clips, all 3 of them. There you go. 2 and 3. So there are 3 clips securing it. Just gonna put the washer jet pipe back into the clip here. Okay, so that's the pollen filter nicely been replaced on this CLK 200. Alright, so the next thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna change the spark plugs on this CLK 200. There are 4 spark plugs, and they are situated under this cover here. So just gonna remove the cover. So the cover just comes off. It's just sitting on the dampers. And so that's the cover out of the way. In order to change the spark plugs, we're going to be using our E8 bit to remove the bolts of the coil pack. So each coil pack is secured by 2 bolts. So just gonna start from this side, the front one first. There we go. So that is the bolt we took off. So the second one is just here. Okay, this is the second bolt we have taken off. Third one here. There we go. And the fourth one just here. There we go. So that's the 4th bolt, nicely been removed. There we go. One here. And the last bolt at the back. There we go. Just gonna pull out each coil pack. Just gonna remove this part from here so that we can pull the coil pack out easily. So just gonna unclip it from here as well. There we go. And the last one. There we go. So that's all the coil packs nicely been taken off. Right, so in order to remove the spark plugs, we're going to be using a 16mm specially designed magnetic tool. Okay, so we're gonna be changing one by one in case if we drop anything inside the slot, spark plug slot. There you go. So that's the first spark plug we've taken off. Okay, it's covered with a little bit of oil, and by looking at it, it looks to me that it hasn't been changed for a while. Must have done over 50,000 miles. So just gonna insert the new spark plug. Just gonna torque it up. There we go, friends, that's good enough. Just gonna insert the coil pack in. There we go. Now we're gonna remove the second spark plug. There we go. So that's the second spark plug. Again, they look really dirty. Here comes the new spark plug. So just gonna hand tighten it to start off with. So just gonna torque it up. There we go. That's good enough. Just going to insert the coil pack back in. This coil pack, we're gonna bring it in like this. There we go. Just gonna rest it here. So now we're gonna remove the third spark plug. There we go, that's the third spark plug. Looks really dirty. There we go, that's the third spark plug. We're gonna insert in. There we go. That's good enough. So now we're gonna remove the fourth and the last spark plug. There we go. So that's the fourth and the last spark plug we're gonna change. There we go. So that's the fourth spark plug going in. Just gonna hand tighten it to start off with. There we go, friends. That's good enough. So just gonna bring in the coil pack number 3 here, and then the number 4. So each coil pack is secured by 2 bolts. Okay, and then we're gonna secure this part here, which we took off earlier, into the clip here, like this. Right, 8 bolts, 2 on each coil pack. Again, just gonna hand tighten it to start off with. 1 going here. Okay. 1 on this side, 1 on that side. Okay, 1 here. 1 on this side. 1 here. And the last one. Alright, just gonna tighten the bolts. That's good enough. Shouldn't tighten it too much. The third one. And the fourth one. There we go, friends. That's the spark plugs nicely been replaced. Just going to put the cover back on. So the cover is secured by 4 studs. There we go. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to fill the engine up with fresh oil. So we are using Castrol Edge 5W30. Okay, so this is good for petrol, diesel or hybrid. So the engine oil capacity for this particular engine, which is 1.8 petrol, is 5.5 liters. So just gonna fill the engine up with the oil. There we go. So before I pour another 0.5 liters, just gonna insert the dipstick into the tubing to find out the oil level. There we go. So just gonna okay, so the level is in the middle, so we're gonna put another 0.5 liters of oil. There we go, friends. Now the oil level is at full mark. Okay, right, here we go, friends. Job done. Just gonna put the oil filler cap back on to the engine. I hope you find my videos helpful. Please don't forget to like, subscribe my channel. Thank you very much for watching the video.